All right, guys, we've got some big news here regarding the college football coaching carousel, the Jeff Brom situation. He is leaving Purdue for Louisville, so that will be happening. And just my quick take on that: 6 years, $35 million. I think it's a wait-and-see approach. He was decent at Purdue. He got them to a Big Ten championship, but we have to have a little bit of a caveat there. The Big Ten West was not good this year. So Jeff Brom, he won some big games. We remember the Ohio State game, the major upset back in 2018. Louisville really spending money right now in terms of the NIL. I know they've got two big skill position players. They're in on it, and they're really investing into their football program. We're seeing this more and more. Some of these basketball programs really starting to invest into the football. And with Louisville, I mean, if you're familiar with Louisville basketball right now, I cannot believe how bad they are at basketball. Either way, Jeff Brom is Louisville's next coach. It's a little demoralizing for Purdue, but this is what happens. Unfortunately, the thing with Purdue is it's not even like they had a breakout season. I mean, they did make a decent bowl because they won the Big Ten West, but still, I think they're 8-5 at this point. So it's kind of like a double whammy. You don't even get the 10-2 Cinderella Rose Bowl type season. It's a decent season, but you still lose your head coach. So that was the big coaching news of the day, and I certainly didn't see it coming, but I don't think it's anything totally earth-shattering. We will see how he does in the ACC, which is pretty wide open right now, although I would expect Clemson to kind of return, especially with their young quarterback next year, really be a force. Also, FSU is trending up in the ACC. And then we've got more news trickling in. The Big Ten and the AAC commissioner told a source that they're open to having both the first and the quarterfinals on campus sites in a 12-team playoff. Basically how we have it now, if you look at the overall bracket for the 12-team playoff, you've got the first round on campus and you've got the second round at a neutral site. That's part of the New Year's Six. What they're saying now, and I have heard this in different comments on Twitter and other social medias, they want the quarterfinals also on campus because you've got those top four seeds that really would just be playing neutral site games. People are saying that they need an on-campus game as well because they should be rewarded for being a higher seed. If you're the number 4 seed and you're facing the 5 seed and it's a neutral site, you get the extra rest, sure, but there is not that extra oomph of a reward. And of course, this is kind of the situation with the NFL where they play, extremely small neutral site games. The only neutral site game you get is in the Super Bowl, which does make sense. But if we're going to do this, seeding is going to be even more important because those top 4 teams are going to be at such a massive advantage. They're not playing a neutral site game until the Final Four, possibly in a 12-team format. Warren said it would be wonderful. The quarterfinals are already set for 2024 and 2025. So the earliest the on-campus games for the quarterfinals would happen would be in 2026. And it's interesting because you figure, would they still be New Year's Six games on campus? How would the sponsorship work? With those New Year's Six games, they're really interwoven with the location and where they're based. So that is interesting. And then we've got just more and more of these players. Michael Mayer declaring for the NFL draft. Guys, I released a video talking about the transfer portal, talking about how college football is ruined at this point, and this is just another situation with Michael Mayer leaving. We've got Will Levis declaring, and he will not be playing in his bowl game against Iowa, which honestly is probably for the best for him. Iowa's got a pretty good defense. He's already struggled this year as it is. And how about Will Levis and Anthony Richardson? Good luck boy, college football is really putting out some great quarterbacks here. These guys are major projects, and I think they're both going to be picked in the first round. And some NFL team and their fan base is probably going to be disappointed. But honestly, after what happened with Josh Allen, where he couldn't complete a pass at Wyoming to what he is now in the NFL, I really should just shut up about these quarterbacks because the way they can progress is crazy. But we've got Anthony Richardson. We know he's sitting out. Will Levis is sitting out. How about the over-under in that game? Is it possible for it to fall below 30? I'd love to see the over-under in that game at 29. With Will Levis playing, although maybe it was assumed he would sit out, with him playing, it was at 31.5, so it might drop a little bit. We've also got Kevin Warren talking about if he's done expanding the Big Ten, and he says, quote, for now. So it's very obvious at this point, the Big Ten, and I've said this for a while. Guys, they want a West Wing. They want to balance the conference more. They want a total United States coast-to-coast power where it's not lopsided on one side or another. It's pretty even. So the expectation is they will add at least 2 more teams from the Pac-12. But right now, it seems like the landscape and everything, everyone is content to really not do anything. Normally, the expansion and all that crap happens during the summer in late July is when it normally happens. So, or I think it happened late June, early July this past year. So I'm guessing there's not going to be any news on that. You're going to get little tidbits here and there, but the Big Ten is in a power position right now that they will very likely be expanding in the coming years. Jim Leonhard, the current interim coach at Wisconsin, has announced that he will be coaching in the bowl game and then leaving Wisconsin. So that was pretty abrupt. Just about 3 weeks ago, I remember reading some type of article where they were like, no, he's probably going to be the full-time head coach. He's not going to be, they're just going to remove the interim tag and make him the full-time head coach, which made sense. You would think defensive mind, Wisconsin, he's been the DC forever. He's one of the most highly regarded defensive coordinators in the sport. He slides right in and it would fit as a culture thing. But guys, let me just applaud Wisconsin. I think this is such an unbelievable move. What Wisconsin is doing right now in terms of really going for it. And it is surprising that Luke Fickell, he's had other opportunities, maybe the Notre Dame thing, other places. He takes the Wisconsin job. It's a good fit. And really, this Wisconsin team, it's a shame for them that the Big Ten is really changing because after 2023, there will be no more divisions. And, they could totally run completely over the Big Ten West with Luke Fickell and the way he can recruit and really develop. But I completely respect Wisconsin for what they're doing. They go for it. They get their guy. And really, you take a look at a team like Cincinnati not getting Deion Sanders. I think it's going to haunt them. Maybe they offered him. I don't know. But if I was Cincinnati, I would have done anything possible. And I don't want to get too far down the line. But I will say if Ryan Day loses to Georgia and then loses next year to Michigan, Ohio State, as long as Deion Sanders does what I think he'll do, there has to be a significant research done on possibly making Deion Sanders a head coach for Ohio State, because Deion Sanders right now, guys, he's doing things no other head coach has the ability to do. He's getting 5 stars committed to a 1-11 program, 2025 5 stars. Yeah, sure, the kids probably aren't even going to be there. He's probably not going to be there, but still, Deion Sanders is the most powerful recruiter in college football. It's not debatable. He's getting 12,000 likes on tweets. No other coach in college football is coming anywhere close to that hype. It is unbelievable, and I give credit to Colorado. I think if you're a Colorado fan, the hope is he at least stays there for 3 years before he jumps up into probably a mega job, I would say. I'm not talking about Auburn or Ole Miss. I think Deion is headed to maybe A&M if they fork over the money to buy out Jimbo Fisher, maybe Alabama after Nick Saban. There's a number of other schools as well, but it'll be a mega job if he does turn around Colorado, which he probably will because of the transfer portal. I mean, look at Lincoln Riley and USC. Colorado's in a little bit worse of a spot, but that situation is crazy. So I give Wisconsin credit for going for it, going out, spending the money, forking over, investing into their football program, and they realized that, you know, the greatest thing with Wisconsin, they could have just kept Jim Leonard and kind of done the old Wisconsin thing. We play good defense. We don't have a lot of talent. We stay in games. They said, no, we want to strive to be better. And they go out and get, Luke Fickell. Everyone will say an absolute home run. There was also a disturbing rumor that I wanted to look at, and I don't know how true this is, but it's been circulating. So we've got the Ohio State true freshman running back, Dalton Hayden, who just had, really, really impressive flashes for the Buckeyes. It's been such a weird relationship between Ryan Day and Hayden because this kid should have played more. We all think it. Ryan Day keeps saying he fumbles in practice, but he hasn't fumbled once in the game in a real game. And now you've got Tennessee possibly sticking their nose into the Ohio State roster and offering him a massive NIL deal to come back to the state of Tennessee where he's originally from. This is totally illegal. It is complete tampering. Of course, nobody cares about it. Nobody's going to do anything. The NCAA is powerless. This goes back to, college football being in such a bad place right now. But this is a rumor, and I would say this is totally false. This is not going to happen. I would expect Ohio State to lose Mayan Williams to the NFL draft. With Mayan, it's been very hard with injuries. I think Mayan's going to have a great game against Georgia because he's going to be healthy and he's going to want to try and get an NFL check. He's already been injured multiple times. The Trevion Henderson situation, my God. There's Trevion Henderson, apparently, Ohio State fans were criticizing him. He got angry or something. I don't know what the situation is. He's looking at transferring, though. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm telling you, the Ohio State running back room, there's no reason to transfer from it right now when you've got Mayan Williams probably going pro, when you've got Trevion Henderson with 1 foot out the door, possibly. Trevion Henderson was close. Ryan Day had to go to him and say, listen, you can't do this right now. We're possibly making the playoffs. So, this is a situation we will keep our eyes on. And then we do have another situation with Mario Cristobal, who had this 5-star linebacker committed, and the kid actually went to Oregon. And now it's looking like he's going to follow Mario Cristobal to Miami. I'm sure there is the Miami Boosters. There's some help going on. Miami's NIL collective right now. It's the holiday season, and they're in a giving mood. I've heard some things about their collective. It's nasty. They are targeting people. They're completely illegal. Of course, none of it matters. You can listen. If you drive 90 miles per hour in a 50 and there's no cops around, is it really illegal? That's what these programs are doing, right? So they're just going to get away with it no matter what. They can offer kids anything, and really, they think they have the moral high ground because they're saying, oh, this is capitalism. These kids are what they're worth, and we're going to give them what they are worth instead of just profiting off of them. So they also think they have the moral high ground while they're cheating. So that is the situation, and again, the only way it gets better, it's just you get a bunch of raccoons together and you kill one of them and they all see it. You have to do that with the boosters. You have to punish one of these programs and bull ban them for multiple years and say, listen, if we really want to investigate your program, Miami, you're going to, this is not going to end well. This is going to be a death penalty type situation, but you really can't even do that because then it's just a double standard because you have so many programs, they're all cheating. They're all cheating. So you can't bull ban everyone. Well, I can't say they're all cheating. Obviously, there's levels to it. Some of them are worse than others. But, there's a report that, Alabama, Georgia, they were trying to do it by the book. But, Saban said, listen, I'm done. We're giving these kids whatever they want. And now Alabama is really completely off the rails, and they're giving kids money left and right. So that's the report out of Tuscaloosa. But, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We've got the major coaching situation updated there in Louisville. Jeff Brom, I give it a B. Listen, it's Reminds me a little of Scott Frost returning to Nebraska. Obviously, the Scott Frost hire was a lot more hype coming off that UCF undefeated season. But we will see. Louisville is investing, and it is interesting. How much of, no, it is a better job, but still, it's almost like Louisville and Purdue. Is it really that much of a step up? I guess it is. I don't know. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.